Hey, this is Ryan from Elite 4 Games. We got a game here from one of our weekly league nights featuring Gardevoir versus a Terapagos Dragapult Charizard pile deck. I wanted to highlight this game because there's a few moments that I really wanted to dive into and explain some different rationale and thinking and different options that are available, even despite not having the best situation or circumstances involving those decisions. Just stay tuned. I will highlight them as they go. So starting things off, there is a nest ball. The nest ball is probably for the Rotom, and then Rotom can grab another Hoothoot, the Pidgey, and a Noctowl, and should be searching for Pidgey, Hoothoot, and Noctowl. I'm not seeing another Hoothoot. There are 3 in the deck, so that means 2 Hoothoot are prized. That was probably should have searched that or double checked that before grabbing the Rotom off of the initial nest ball. Though I still think Rotom would have been correct anyway. Just a weird kind of sequencing there. So obviously you play down the Pidgey. You have the Pidgeot in hand already with a rare candy. Another nest ball. This is probably for Dreepy, because Dragapult is the main attacker. Yeah, you want to get the Dreepy out as quickly as you can, so you can start hitting with Dragapult for 200. I don't remember what was in the hand. This might just be the end of the turn, which is still an okay turn. Oh, Fire Energy, yeah, attach the fire for sure. And Rare Candy Pidgeot in hand. Rare Candy Pidgeot can search for, well, if you have one of the pieces of Dragapult, Pidgeot can find the other piece, whether that be Dragapult, Terra Orb, Ultra Ball, or Rare Candy, whichever piece you're missing. Or Pidgeot could also get the Terapagos if you're not able to do that, so that you can then evolve the Hoothoot into Noctowl and get your 2 trainer searches. And the trainer searches could be for Rare Candy, Terra Orb. Alright, Gardevoir's turn. Starting things off with Earthen Vessel. Probably just 2 Psychics. I don't think getting a Dark Energy right now is worth it. You don't have Monkey Dory. I don't think it was in hand either. So yeah, 2 Psychics. You want to get them in the discard pile as quickly as you can. Oh, there's a Trolley. Trolley is so good here. And this is probably 2 or 3 Ralts plus Monkey. Oh, I don't think Mimikyu is the play there. Oh, you 100% grab Greninja, no? You totally grab Greninja. I like Greninja over Mimikyu. If you grab Greninja off of it, you could have discarded the Psychic Energy in hand and drawn 2, and you can still play the game. It's definitely correct to leave a bench space open because you need an attacker, but not correct to grab the Mimikyu. I think Greninja is a lot better. There's Rare Candy Pidgeot. Can't see what's in the hand. Is there a Terra Orb or Rare Candy also? Oh, Feather Ball, 2 Noctowl, Feather Ball. Crispin? Nope, couldn't tell. If it's Crispin, he's fine. Because if it's Crispin, you can get the Terapagos off of this, evolve the Hoothoot into Noctowl, get Terra Orb, Rare Candy off of the Noctowl, and then you can Crispin, attach the Psychic to the Dreepy, the Fire to the Noctowl, and retreat into Dreepy, or into Dragapult. I should be doing pretty okay. Yeah, there's the Terapagos. Terapagos is important because you need a Terra Pokemon in order for Noctowl's ability to trigger when it evolves. If you don't have the Dragapult, then you need the Terapagos. Oh, it's not. It's a boss, not a Crispin. Ooh, that's kind of tough then. You'll have a way to retreat the Noctowl when you evolve it. Or the Hoothoot before you evolve it. Requires an energy to retreat. Okay, Trolley. Probably Charmander or Dreepy is the other one. Charmander's fine. I think Dreepy might be better, because Draclo can draw you a card. Or will always draw you a card. And I don't think you need the Charmander or the Charizard anytime soon. Yeah, Noctowl, because Terapagos is on board. What do you get here, though? So you want to evolve into Terapagos, or into Dragapult, right? So Rare Candy, Terra Orb. Do it anyway? And then what? Are you just passing because you can't attack? Or is there an energy in hand? You can attach the Noctowl and then headbutt for 70 and knock out the active Ralts? That's okay too. Oh, Drayden. Wait, what can Drayden get? I probably would have preferred to just see Terra Orb and get the Dragapult, because Drayden can whiff. Oh, but you know what? I guess you could get the Jackalope off of the Drayden, and then you're drawing a card, and then you're not needing to use the Rare Candy, and you have the Rare Candy next turn for the Charizard. Yeah, I guess Drayden gives more options. Okay, Fire, Terra Orb. Okay, you can get the Dragapult anyway. So Charmander, Poffin, another Rare Candy. Well, it's Rare Candy Charizard, there's no other choice. Or Terra... Oh, no, Terra Orb. Charmander, sorry. There's no other choice. You already have the Rare Candy in hand because you just searched it. Yep. And then Terra Orb for Dragapult. So Drayden got you exactly the same place as you were, plus a Charmander. Which I guess is fine. Never punished. Yep, Dragapult. Rare Candy Dragapult. Not able to get an attack off this turn though, because there's no energy to retreat the Noctowl. Yeah, it's just a pass. Alright. Gardevoir has some life. Evolved Kirlia. Yeah, probably immediately. That's probably fine. Refinement off of the active Kirlia. What's the card behind Artisan? Arvin. Charm, okay. Charm Vessel. Vessel away the Artisan? Yeah, you kind of have to. The other choice is like Stretcher, and you can't afford to waste a Stretcher on that. Yep, 2 Psychic, I like it. I think that's correct. You're just refinement the 2 bench Kirlias, get the Psychic into the discard pile. I think it would be a mistake to bench the Drifloon, because what can it do? Get 1 prize? You don't play Prime Catcher, you don't play regular catchers. Even on prizes you've already supported, you've played Arvin this turn. Ooh, is it correct to TM Devo here? Just stall a bit? It's kind of tough. Can you get another Noctowl switch, or another Noctowl Surge? Oh, I don't like that. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. You're not doing anything with it. You don't even have Gardevoir yet. You can just hold it. You still have so many search cards. You have a Poffin in hand. You have a Nest Ball in hand. Even if it gets Iono'd away. Okay, well now you have to Devo. You can't just pass. You have to be super proactive in this position. You can't let the Dragapult knock out the Drifloon for free like that. There's no way. I don't know if you can let the Dragapult knock out the Kirlia for free that way. Because Pidgeot just searches for Crispin, and Dragapult gets a knockout on the active and can place damage counters however it wants. 2 on the Kirlia, 2 on the other Kirlia, and 1 on the Mimikyu probably. Yeah, well, I mean, Noctowl can just get the 2 rare candies back, assuming none of them are prized. It's kind of a nothing, but it does burn all of the rare candies. But then now, you have a way to attack. You can attack with Charizard instead of Dragapult, because you can Noctowl for the 2 rare candies, rare candy Pidgeot, Pidgeot search the Charizard, rare candy Charizard, and then retreat into the Charizard because Charizard attaches 2 to itself and 1 to the Noctowl. Okay, rare candy Crispin, sure. Okay, so we're committed to the Dragapult play with this. I think it was probably worth thinking about that a little bit more instead of just snap going for it. Because if you do the Charizard, you can also just get the Dracloak, right? And Dracloak is a pretty good card. Okay, well, Crispin, sure. And then Psychic on the Dragapult, Fire on the Noctowl, retreat to Dragapult, discard, Dragapult. Is there anything else you can do? I guess you can Feather Ball for the Pidgeot so you don't draw it. 2-2-1-1? Yeah, that makes sense. So that sets the Mimikyu and the 2 Kirlias up to 60 HP each. It makes it really bad math for Monkey Dory. You would need to accelerate with Gardevoir, If you wanted to deal 30 damage with Monkey Dory, you would have to evolve one of the Kirlia into Gardevoir and then accelerate to one of the Pokemon so that you can deal 30. I think the spread is really good there. And you definitely don't want to pre-damage the Drifloon, especially when 70 plus 50 is 120. And if you put 10 on it, then that's just an extra 30 damage for no reason. Whereas right now, the maximum amount of damage Drifloon can do is 300. So you need an extra 20 damage off of Monkey Dory. Okay, you know what? I don't think it mattered. I think you could have put 20 on the Mimikyu, or you could have put 30 on one of the Kirlias. So Gardevoir is correct if you can get the Dark Energy on the Monkey Dory, and then you can heal off the other Kirlia and knock out the Dragapult. That would put you so far ahead. Oh, but you don't have a way to do that. There's no searches. There's no Dark Energy in the discard pile. Can't stretcher it. You use both refinements. Oh, that's tough. Okay, this is a really interesting situation now. So there's two trains of thought. I'm assuming there's 5 energy in the discard pile. You can punch Dragapult for 300 and leave it open to a Monkey Dory when you have the chance. You are giving up one of your Kirlias and the Drifloon to do that. The other option is you can put an energy onto Drifloon and retreat into Mimikyu, try and stall a little bit, because you really need to draw the dark. Right? Like drawing the dark energy is super, super important. You don't have a supporter, you don't have a vessel in hand, you don't have a way to deal that extra 20 damage to Dragapult. Can you just stretcher the Ralts? Is there a Ralts in the discard pile? Hold on. Yeah, one Ralts died. It's in the discard pile. You can stretcher the Ralts. Oh, you should have okay. Okay. You stretcher the Ralts, so you have the option to draw cards next turn. There's a Ralts in the discard pile, there's a stretcher in hand. The way things are sitting now, there's a Pidgeot on the bench. If you cannot knock out the Pidgeot, you have to assume that a boss's orders is coming. You have to assume that your Kirlias are dead. So, I think in this situation, the best option is to stretcher the Ralts, put the Ralts on the bench, evolve one of the Kirlias into Gardevoir, and punch the Dragapult for 300. With the Ralts on the bench, you have a little bit more outs, right? Okay, so he Arven this turn, so you can't play Turo. You evolve the Gardevoir. You stretcher the Ralts. I think you always have to stretcher the Ralts here, so that your top deck could be a few things. It could be Earthen Vessel, it could be Kirlia, it could be a Dark Energy, it could be a supporter, like a draw supporter. And those get you to at least something, right? But retreating into Mimikyu isn't it. Because you have to assume he has boss. There's a Pidgeot on the field. If the boss isn't in hand, Pidgeot just gets the boss. And then boss knocks out Drifloon and Kirlia. You have no draws. You have to punch the Dragapult and you have to stretcher the Ralts. That's the only way you can get out of this. But this situation came up right on the first turn with the Trolley for the Mimikyu instead of Greninja. Because Trolley for Greninja would have gotten that Psychic Energy in the discard pile on the first turn and drawn 2 cards. And then you have more outs. You have another way to draw cards way in the future when you're struggling like that. When you're struggling for a draw, when you're struggling for the Dark Energy. Because then a Psychic Energy is also a potential out. So I think there are 2 mistakes made by the Gardevoir player this game. The first one is trolling for Mimikyu and not Greninja. And the second one is not playing the stretcher for the Ralts. It didn't look like it ended up mattering for the stretcher, but you should always stretcher in that position when you know that your Kirlia is going to die. There was a Pidgeot on board. Pidgeot equals boss's orders equals you cannot draw next turn with Kirlia unless you have a Ralts on the field that you can evolve next turn. That's super interesting though. I think you had to put the damage on and just figure it out next turn. Like next turn you could just attack with Gardevoir. You're still in a really bad position because there's a Charmander on board. But at least you're giving yourself a chance there. Or you could attack with Mimikyu afterwards. Putting 300, like just dealing 300 to Dragapult has to be correct. You have so many other ways that you can put damage on, even if you don't get the Monkey Dory. Like, you whiffed on the Dark Energy this turn, you still have to put 300 damage on. There isn't another Dreepy on board. And even if there was, all 4 rare candies have been played. So attacking Dragapult just is so much better. Oh, just Pidgeot for the Dreepy, I guess? Is there Area 0 in hand? Oh, okay, yeah, Charmeleon. That makes sense. There's no more rare candies. Give yourself the opportunity to evolve into Charizard. If the boss is not in hand, that's a colossal misplay. Area 0? Sure. Play down the other Hoot Hoot that you got off the prizes. Evolved a Charmeleon. Played on the Charmander? No, I never played down. Okay, there was a boss in hand. Boss the Drifloon. Knock out Drifloon Curlia. Sure, Feather Ball just a thin. Should have done that last turn, to be honest. Yeah, knock out the Curlia. There's no more draws. And the Drifloon, there's no more damage. Alright, so the Guardy player needs to deal damage to Dragapult and or Pidgeot on their next turn. So they promote the Mimikyu. I think better late than never. You have Screamtail down. Can Screamtail knock out Pidgeot? Pidgeot's at 280. Screamtail goes to 140, which means that it has a max of 120 times 2 is 220. That's not enough. If you have the Monkey Dory, that 120 goes down to 90, but there's going to be a plus 30, and then 90, 120, 130 is 260 plus 30 is 290, so if you have the Dark Energy plus the Charm, you can knock out the Pidgeot on the bench with Screamtail. And that does give out 2 prizes, again, because you're losing the Screamtail and the Mimikyu, more than likely on the bench. Because there's no reason to attack the Monkey Dory or the Gardevoir at that point. You would just be attacking the Screamtail with Dragapult and knocking out the Mimikyu with the residual damage. But again, that relies on you getting the Dark Energy. If you don't have that, is it still correct just to punch the Dragapult? 240 on Dragapult, drops it down to 80. That's the worst math possible. Well, maybe not. Well, maybe it is. Because if you knock out Dragapult, they just pitch you out for the Charizard. So 70 goes down to 250, which means you're still needing the Dark Energy to knock it out. But you're giving up 2 prizes to do so. Or at least 1 prize. Because you play boss, you probably boss the monkey just to prevent any damage. If you boss the monkey, they can't knock out Dragapult with Screamtail next turn. At that point, you're totally fine with your opponent drawing cards with Curlia. So that's 20 on Mimikyu, 20 on Ralts. I think you can just put another 20 on the Ralts. Well, 40 on Ralts doesn't really matter either. It would only matter if they promote it, evolve it, and then want to retreat it. Which is just a sequencing error, so you don't have to worry about that. So Screamtail is coming out. Screamtail's going to attack. There's no monkey on board. That Nest Ball was probably looking for the second Monkey Dory, meaning that it was probably prized. Countercatcher up the Terapagos to stall. Hopefully the switch is the last prize card in the deck. And then you can Screamtail punch Pidgeot, or Screamtail punch Charmeleon. If you're punching Charmeleon... No, yeah, punching Charmeleon is correct. Because you can Pidgeot for Charizard. Like, if you have Switch, you have Switch. But if you don't have Charizard, there's 2 Charizard in the deck. And there's none in the discard pile, so you know that they can Pidgeot for Charizard, and then attach 2 Fire Energy to Terapagos and knock out the active Screamtail for the last prize. So you have to knock out Charmeleon here. In that case, you don't need the Bravery Charm. But, as you can tell, there's a Switch. Alright, and that's going to do it for the game.